So another way to create value on your website is through related posts and social discovery. So what exactly is a related post and what's social discovery? So let's take a look. So on College Cures, at the bottom of the page, and I'm not here to promote College Cures, this is just a really good example that uses all these tactics. At the bottom of every post on College Cures, you'll see things like this related posts widget right here. So this related post widget is hosted by a company called NRelate. The letter N, R-E-L-A-T-E, NRelate. So what NRelate does is they took my related posts widget area, which was using a WordPress plugin called Related Posts plugin, if anybody likes that little grid look. What they did is they recreated the look of it, but what they did is they kind of slipped some ads in here. So this is an article on College Cures, so is this, but that's on Conversion Planning. This is on another website. This is a College Cures page, this is a College Cures page, this is a College Cures page. That one is sponsored by Shape.com. So it looks like it's in the advertising, yet if somebody clicks on that, we'll get paid out for that. So you can't, it's not a tremendous amount of revenue, but once again, if it's an extra 10 bucks a month, take it. Why not? You might as well create that value for yourself, so that you can keep creating your content and keep your website going. Making money is not a bad thing. Greed is the bad thing. So make as much money as you possibly can.
So to get a related posting that looks like that, instead of that stupid line that's on the bottom, you use the plugin called Related Posts.
It's called Related Posts plugin.
And then if you went to this other site that you talked about,
And then NRelate, I can't even take
That's a
responsibility
company
like
that
I found them.
sells-
Yeah, they emailed me and they said, hey, we'll recreate this thing. We'll recreate your related posts area. It usually gets about 7% click-through rate. Here's the CPC. I said, great. If I can make another $1 a month from that, I'll take another $1 a month. Because over time, those things kind of tend to add up.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's great. Who knew? So the next thing you'll see is recently there's a commenting plugin called Discuss. One thing that's great about WordPress websites is it encourages interaction, encourages people to comment on content, make their commentary known, and react to things, share it on social pages and so forth. Discuss recently released what's called their social discovery revenue generating, whatever you would call it. Basically, the idea is where you usually have your comments, your discuss comment area, it adds this box above it. It shows other articles on this website that are maybe related to this article that we've got now. And then it also shows recommended content, which is all sponsored content on other websites. So if somebody clicks on these, we might make an extra 50 cents a month, $1 a month. Once again, even if we make $10 a month, that's another way to generate revenue from something that was already happening. That's a plugin called Discuss, D-I-S-Q-U-S, and that's a commenting plugin, which is my favorite commenting plugin. The next thing is consumer data. Now, I never even really knew that this existed, to be completely honest with you, but consumer data tracking is basically like, companies will pay a lot of money to know who your visitors are and what exactly they're doing on your website, what type of things they're clicking on, how long they're staying there, what they're reading, and they like to know their behavior. They like to know exactly who they are so that they can target them on other websites with their advertisements. So you can use what's called a tracking pixel, which basically means that you put a 1 pixel by 1 pixel GIF somewhere in the footer of your page, and it tracks all of the data for your website visitors. It'll track their name, where they're coming from, their email address if they have it, their phone number if it's available, and they basically create a profile or a consumer profile of your website visitors and then sell that data to all the major ad networks and companies. So something like College Cures with the right data pixel strategy, maybe you could make $500 or $1,000 a month by just putting a 1 by 1 pixel in the footer of that page. Now, obviously privacy comes into the equation, so you have to have a privacy policy. You have to have a privacy policy that gives people the ability to opt out of that. But for the most part, consumer data tracking is actually a good thing because it serves you more relevant advertising and more relevant information that you as the consumer want to see, usually.
And what is that called, the site?
So the one that I've used for that is called Datonix, D-A-T-A-O-N-I-C-S, Datonix. And the thing about these, the reason I'm not saying specific companies right in the presentation is that certain companies will only work with websites with a certain level of traffic. So if you had 1,000 hits a month, someone like Datonix might not be interested in that real estate. So the next thing is Google custom search. This is probably the easiest way to generate revenue for all of you, I would suggest you put this on your website. Google Custom Search essentially means that you take the search bar on your website, or a search bar on your website, and you place this thing. This Google Custom Search widget, if anybody searches in that box, not only will it find content on your own website, but it'll find content on other people's websites. So if I did a search for Vonage, which did a sponsored post with College Cures about 6 or 7 months ago, if I did a search for Vonage, first it's going to show me all these ads, all this official Vonage stuff, and then as you come down the page, here's the articles on College Cures that might be related to Vonage. Here's one sponsored post we did, and here's a second sponsored post. One was an advertorial, where we just wrote about the service. The second was one where we actually reviewed it. So, you can say, hey, if you want to buy a sponsored post and a review, we'll discount the whole thing 20% or 50% or whatever you want. Even if you sell it for $10, as long as you can get it done in a short amount of time, what's the difference? You want to make every dollar that you can, because eventually that dollar will turn into 2 or 3 or 4. So this is the easiest one, I think, to implement for anybody. Like I said, drop that custom search widget somewhere on your page. Somebody searches your site for information, they're going to get what they were looking for, but they're also going to be served these relevant ads.
You get revenue?
Yeah, and anybody could get revenue from that on Google today. Anybody could replace your existing search box with a Google search box. And it takes no more than like 15 minutes or so to implement.
You just go to Google?
Yeah, I would just do a Google search for Google Custom Search. Yeah, Google Custom Search. Cool.